Hi guys, it's Nikki again. Welcome back to my channel. So for you to achieve a very nice feathery looking brows, you would need to first of all use the wax gel to tame down your brows. As you can see from the video, I'm using a spoolie and the wax gel to make sure that my brows are flat. This would help me to be able to get a natural looking brows. After that, I'll go ahead to use my setting powder RCMA to tame down these brows furthermore. It will help to remove any oil from that wax. Make sure to do this process because if you work on the wet brows, the wax will not allow your pencils to come out. I will then go ahead to use my pencil, which is David's pencil in the shade 1818. I'm going to first of all outline my brows. Guys, while recording this part of the video, my client was actually carrying her baby on her thighs, so there was a little bit of disruption here and there, but it would help you to see how to correct your brows just in case you experience similar situation or disruption. So I'm going to first of all outline the brows, as you can see, making sure I follow the normal client's brows. Do not overdo it. Make sure your pencil is properly sharpened. If you notice, I'm starting off with the second brow and the pencil is as sharp as it was when I did the first one. Make sure the pencil is very sharp and it helps to make this work really easy. I'm still outlining the second brows and I'll make sure I'm still following her natural brows. Because my client does not have lots of hair in her brows, what I'm going to do is to use my pencil to draw similar brow hairs just like I'm doing. So I'm just doing this as a very light stroke just to fill up the brows. I would make sure that these are light, and if I want to darken it, I would always come back to darken. It's always best to go light for a start and come back to darken if there is need, just like I'm doing now. I'm just coming back at this moment to darken the parts that I feel needs to be a little bit more pronounced. Make sure your pencil is really sharpened while doing this. If not, your strokes would be too bold and you would not like the effect. If you notice you have those bold strokes, always go back to use your spoolie to brush out the hairs, and you notice it will lighten it again and would have a very natural looking brows. I'm going to go ahead to highlight my brows. I'll be using Eyebrow concealer. And what I usually advise is something like 2 shades lighter than the person's complexion, just to highlight the brow bone. I usually do not exaggerate my colors when it comes to the brow bones. Alright, I think it was at this point that I mistakenly went a little bit deeper when I was concealing the brows. I'm going to quickly show you how to correct that just in case you find yourself in similar situation. If you look closely, you'll see there's a part of this brows that is a little bit crooked, and I really do not want that. So what I will do is to get my pencil to fill it up from top. See me demonstrate it so you'd understand it better. I'm going to pick my pencil, making sure it's still sharpened, and I will just fill up the area that needs to be filled up from the top of the brows and not from underneath. This will help you to quickly correct whatever mistake you have made on that brows. If you try correcting that from underneath, because you have a creamy product, you will notice that creamy product will not allow your pencil to come out or to have a good shade. You keep having a messy brows if you try that. But once you go from on top, the top part is dry, it would help you to fill up that brows without having much difficulty. I'm going to be repeating the same process on the left hand side. I'm going to be using something 2 shades lighter than her skin color, and I think this was my perfect brows while I was drawing this. Somehow coincidentally the baby was still, she was still, and the brows was just so perfect. Okay guys, you see using the shade. So one thing you would also notice is as I'm going into the inner part of the brows, I go ahead to pick something one shade darker than her complexion, so that I can be able to blend into my nose contour. So I'll go ahead to use a blending brush to blend this area, just to avoid harsh lines. Guys, I always lay this emphasis, always make sure you do not have harsh lines when blending your products. So I'm going ahead to just blend in whatever I have applied. After blending, I will then go ahead to set my concealers using powder. I'm going to be using the View Beauty powder palette, and I'm going to be using a shade that is still 2 shades or 1 shade lighter than her complexion, just to make sure that that brow bone is highlighted. Guys, after doing this, you would want to come back to the inner part of your brows to make sure that you blend in that part really well. As you can see, it's not very blended. So what I would do is to get a flat fluffy brush and get a shade that is 2 way darker than her complexion, just to lay emphasis on that nose contour. I usually do not do anything, or usually do not use concealers on the upper part of my brows. This is because I make sure I have steady hands while I'm outlining my brows. But if you feel you would want to do that, make sure you use less products and something really close to her foundation color. What I'm basically doing at this point is to make sure that I'm blending in that very highlighted area into the remaining parts of the skin. Use a powder that is 1 shade darker than her skin color, or something close to her foundation shade. While doing this, also make sure to avoid the highlighted brow bone area, just like you can see from the video. Guys, this is the end of this tutorial. Follow this step and trust me, your eyebrows would always be popping like mine. Okay guys, thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Please remember to subscribe, and thank you for the support so far. Bye.